Hey collective, this your girl B. I'm coming to y'all with just some revelations that I'm having in my own world that might apply to yours. Hit me in the comments if it feels right for you, if it resonates. I have come to the conclusion, or something told me, spirit, that people love to play in people's energy just to test their own abilities, to see if they can get over on you. Whole time, you always feel like the person's shady. So you just give them just enough information to see if your intuition is correct. So basically, you mirroring the person, giving them back the energy that they give you. The only problem with it is, see, when you do that to people, they don't like it. When they do it to you, they love it. So if you like it, I love it, baby. And then they try to make it seem like you're the bad guy. You're always the villain. And I decided to let you know this. Don't try to correct none of the thinking. Don't try to solve the problem. Don't try to clear your name. Just sit there and be like, thank you. I'm glad you're telling me. Because they want to see you hurt. They want to see you upset. They've been trying not to get to know you, but to study you so that they can see what your trigger points are. However, as we all know, in a real divine feminine situation like myself, baby, I would never give you my real triggers. I just let you think whatever you want to think because actually I'm showing you the triggers that are in you that I'm acting like are for me because I can already sense when energy is not real. Energy is real, but I can sense when you're trying to put your mask on because you're trying to fit into my world. People will basically rephrase what you just said, like they're some kind of weird savant. That's how you really know. I was just dealing with a guy that every time I say something prolific or what he thought was me trying to be prolific, he would try to say it right back to me. Try to make me feel crazy or even agree with what I'm saying to make me feel like he's putting me on a pedestal. Whole time, I'm using you for food. Whole time, I see what you are. Whole time, you're a goof. Whole time, I'm helping build you up so that I can have a positive day. Because I can see you lack discernment at your big old age. So that way, by having that level of detachment and not ever really letting that person get super duper close to me because I kind of already see what you are, it allows me to never talk to you again once you portray yourself, really. Because if you pay attention when you have relationships like that, you set little things in there, little traps, so that they go forward to try to trigger you, you'll know what they're doing. They don't be knowing. They don't have no idea if they're a mouse in a maze. Because whole time they think they're winning because they left you some breadcrumb cheddar. Meanwhile, you've been knowing what it was the whole time. In my particular case, I would say that I'm not really ready to be in a real relationship, like a full-fledged relationship, because I know what that takes, at least for me to be in a full-fledged relationship, because I like to treat the person as if they are me. So, I mean, it just works best for me right now because of what I have going on and how I want to produce my life. I don't want to have somebody that I have to really focus on, especially, right now I want to be able to provide a certain level of stability for myself, and I can't do that and also be fully vested in a relationship. So I guess I'm kind of using this like therapy. But anyway, so those people believe that you want more than what you want, and all whole time you're using them as a practicing ground. Because you already seen what they were from the beginning. I would never suggest someone date somebody long term in that particular kind of scenario if you know you want more, because it doesn't make sense in the long run, because you're not really, it's like you're trying to change the person or fix the person or make them change their own will. You can't have will over somebody. And a lot of these people, they can be 60 years old and they are still spiritually immature. So once you see that, but then they're a good solid friend for you, or somebody who can fill that void that you need to be filled, because you also know you're not holding up their progress. So it's not like you're being diabolical towards them the way they're trying to be towards you. I mean, I think it works, and you will have to see the beauty in it. It's not like it's a crime or something like that to see things for what they really are. I live in a version of reality where I just see people for what they truly, truly are. I don't try to put potential on people. Even if I can see that you could be more, I'll tell you if that's what you ask me. If you ask me, I will say, hey, I do see this in you. However, if you're not that now, it's just probably not going to happen. You just have to be able to remember that was your goal. For me, daily, I have a routine of seeing that I always deliver to myself and I always love myself, meaning I still go to the gym no matter who I'm talking to. I still do my selfies. I still keep my house clean. I still stay organized. I still eat well. I can actually have love for someone that I'm in detachment with, because I understand that I am doing it. I understand why I'm in that particular bond with them. And I also make sure to, reiterate to them what their goals are. Like, hey, where do you see us going, or see what we're doing? Really to feed their ego, but also to see how they view the viewing. Because clearly, in some situations, you can't have the outcome of the ideal next step if that's not a possibility. But to keep the game going and to keep the acting alive and the mask on and not to embarrass the other person, I think it's best that you do that little check-in with them, just for your so you're not playing with somebody's heart. Even if they are thinking that they playing with yours, or on some level masquerading as if they are, because people, they doing the best they can. I never take stuff like that personal, because I know what kind of person I am. I know what I be thinking. The minute you do anything rude, I'm just gonna go on a date with somebody else. I know it's gonna hurt your whole feelings. And it don't bother me or nothing. I just think it's kind of funny. But also I look at it like, what if I wasn't that kind of person and you really truly thought that I, had invested in you at a certain level, to have a really strong outcome, and I'm not spiritually mature in that way to see what you really are, then that would suck. In that case, when I find out that you are being diabolical about it, I don't try to teach you no lesson, because I already learned all my lessons. I leave you to learn your lesson. Once you disrespect me in any scenario, I always make sure to honor my boundary, because if you don't, you really hurting your real live heart. You letting her know that constantly you're gonna abuse her, you're gonna hurt her. See, me and my heart, we over here. We strong because we knew what we was doing all along. And I would say that being in the reality part of it helps me understand myself better as well, always, because I'm not trying to pull something out of somebody that they're not ready to deliver. But I also was able to maintain my stability, footing, and realness in that situation, because that's all I needed. Now, had I wanted to get married, when I had kids, I would say obviously go for the person who's emotionally available, who doesn't have any real healing work they need to do. As long as they're not causing you to need to be healed after them, then you should wind up on the right side of it. Now, don't go doing things you see somebody else do, and you're not woke enough or spiritually mature enough to see where you are in your journey, because you can't mimic some things. You just can't mimic. That's why people have these brutal realizations that they haven't hurt you after they tried to hurt you, because they didn't realize they never had the footing to hurt you. Or whatever the case may be. You just have to be discerning about what it is your real goal is, and remembering what your focus is. And just let people be people, and just when it gets to being, with any friendship, any relationship, but this, even with clients, if they become tired, you don't want to deal with them no more, you just have to know when to release people so that they can go off and find whatever it is they're looking for. Because maybe they lost their footing in the attempt to try to trigger you in some kind of way. That's that. All right, y'all. See you on the next one.